Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from The Hill that was published on October 9th. It's written by Todd A Coxx, who's an opinion contributor. And the reason why I chose looking at this opinion article, or opinion piece, or however you want to look at it, is because it just goes to show that the derangement has not seen, its end, and will not see it in the near future. You would think with how the left was exposed for their shitbaggery, their derangement, and everything else, it might snap a few of them back to reality, but it hasn't. So they're still focused on swaying courts. And what gets me about the left is they don't want judges that interpret the law. They want judges that create law from the bench. But, hey, can't have that in this type of nation or society. Because then you are negating, your other two branches of government. And the judiciary becomes all-powerful. Which is what they want, because they want these activist judges to rule on things the way that they want them and fuck the law. The Kavanaugh fight is over. The fight for the judiciary is not. After a long, bitter fight over his fitness to serve, Brett Kavanaugh is now an associate judge on the U.S. Supreme Court. Well, there wasn't a fight over his fitness. Let's be accurate here. There was a fight over the fact of whether or not he would get the position, period, and the left, the Democrats, basically the shitbag side of politics these days. And I'm not saying all on the left, but they're the shitbag side. They decided to try to smear and lie about the nominee, Kavanaugh, and hope that it would stick. And what gets me is they got more fantastical, or you get what I mean. They just went more and more like out there with their shit with each new person coming forward, and they thought that this was actually going to stick. In the aftermath of this bruising process, many civil rights and social justice advocates are likely feeling tired and demoralized. Excuse me. But civil rights means full equality, means a meritocratical society, means equality for all. So to try to say that they are civil rights activists when they're trying to get special treatment for particular groups is talking out your ass and lying and being dishonest. Social justice advocates, let's be honest, the social justice warrior crowd, the far left fuckwits. All right, yeah. They should feel tired and demoralized because they keep fucking losing because the shit that you want to push is complete bullshit. With Kavanaugh confirmed, the Supreme Court is likely to begin rolling back critical protections for people of color, women, and other vulnerable communities. Whoa, wait a minute. We're in an equal society. They don't need protections. See, that is a complete misstatement. What you're basically admitting here is that they're going to roll back special treatment being given to perceived groups, groups that are perceived to be dealing with some forms of oppression, when in this day and age they really aren't. Women have way more rights in this country than men do. And when you look at divorce courts, for example, when you look at family courts, when you look at all those women trump men. To me, when you're bitching about, oh, women don't have equal rights, no, they have more rights. People of color, you racist fuck, is a racist term. That's what I love about the left. They literally take colored people, flip the people in the color, throw an oven in the middle, and they go, not racist anymore. It's fucking ridiculous. You are vile, disgusting people, and you are admitting that there is special treatment being given to individuals. But for anyone who cares about the federal court's commitment to delivering equal justice for all, there is no time to lick wounds. Excuse me, equal justice for all? The court... Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? Justice is blind. Justice is blind. That means the law is there. Either by the definition of the law, you committed a crime or you didn't. So there is equal justice. The Supreme Court is just one piece of the federal judiciary. Of the thousands of cases that come before the federal courts, only about 80 are argued before the Supreme Court each term. Yeah, so you've realized that maybe the Supreme Court isn't where we should be setting our focus, because if you look at the federal courts, especially all these Obama appointees, they're activist judges. They try to create law from the bench. This is what they want. In most cases, the last word goes to one of the 13 federal appeals courts, giving them enormous influence over the shape of American law. Yes, to an extent, shape over American law, but not the way that you're trying to intend. See, again, this is a choice of words. They want these positions because, as they said, shape American law. So they want these activist judges to be in these positions where they can literally change the meaning of laws, extend their meaning, use them for things that were never intended. Since taking office, the Trump administration has been working to move these courts to the right, a campaign that continues Wednesday, when the Senate Judiciary Committee will consider 2 nominees to federal appeals courts, both of whom have troubling records on a wide range of civil rights issues. Now, this is what I love. Troubling records. I actually agree with them on. I agree with what they're bringing up as part of their troubling records. All right, I agree with what they're thinking is an issue. I have no problems with what they're talking about. And what gets me is it goes to show you that they want this preferential treatment with what they're talking about here. It's hilarious. One of them is Chad Redler, a nominee for the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals, who until recently led the Justice Department's Civil Division. In that capacity, he was responsible for defending many of the Trump administration's most reprehensible policies. Now, this is where it gets interesting on their track record, including its inhumane separation of families at the U.S. border, its discriminatory ban on immigration from Muslim-majority countries, its relentless assaults on the health care of more than 15 million Americans with pre-existing conditions, and its efforts, excuse me, well, I choke on the mucus, and its efforts to suppress minority votes. You fucking idiots. Okay, let's go through each of these one by one. What is this fucking idiot's name again? I should have remembered. Oh yeah, it's an easy one to remember. Todd A Coxx. Okay, Coxx, you fucking shitbrick. Let's go through your bullshit here. Let's go through all of it, Coxx. The separation of families at the U.S. border. We don't know if they are families. You do realize that through DNA testing, they've already found that there were multiple instances of people smuggling children across the border and basically using them as the idea of a human shield to try to stay in the fucking country. You stupid fuckwit. This is why I hate people like you. Because you don't know any fucking facts. You talk out of your fucking asses, and then you say the people that are right of you or don't think like you are the ones that are doing it. His discriminatory ban on immigration from Muslim-majority countries. Excuse me? How about we state the facts here? It just so happens that these particular countries that happen to have that religion where people tend to drive trucks of peace into innocent crowds happen to be hotbeds of terrorism. Why don't we be honest about that? Well, then, on top of that, let's be honest about the fact of the reason why the temporary ban on these terrorist hotbeds was put into place was so that there could be proper vetting enacted. And you know what gets me? Is I bet you don't realize that the worst oppressed in those countries are the fucking Christians. Okay? But you want the Muslims to be prioritized, I'm sure. Fuck the Christians who are getting murdered and raped and you know, basically treated like the world's worst filth by those particular truck drivers of peace religion types. You know, fuck you on that one. You scumbag. its relentless assault on health care of more than 50 million Americans with pre-existing conditions. So wait a minute. Forcing a fucking private company to take on people with pre-existing conditions and not charge them an additional premium for it, which they should, because they are higher risk, that would be like, you know, is complete bullshit, number one. Number two, all those poor people who supposedly got health care, more middle-class Americans ended up getting fucked in the long run. If you look at it all. Between it all. Like, literally. So, fuck you on your existing healthcare shit and pre-existing conditions. And the thing is, if they had got insurance before the pre-existing condition became a pre-existing condition, they wouldn't be in the fucking boat they're in on top of that. And then the minority votes. Oh, so what you're saying is black people and Hispanics are too stupid to know where the DMV is to go and get a driver's license or a non-driver ID. Because that's what you're coming to. Because what we're talking about there, you dishonest shitbag, is the fact of voter registration and voter ID. See, when you left-leaning fucks push that shit, it goes to show, one, how racist you are. Two, how shitty and sleazy you are about rigging and election tampering and all that type of shit, because that's clearly what you mean by that. Because suppressing minority votes is code for, if you actually make it so that people have to have IDs that have to be checked, then we can't send these people to vote for dead people, you know, in the place of these dead people to vote for them. We can't do that for people who moved out of state. That's what you're admitting right there. Positions like these are nothing new for Riedler. In a 1998 op-ed, he argued that local government should be taken out of the business of passing anti-discrimination laws stronger than existing federal protections. I agree with that, because here's the thing. If you look, when these local governments, these local city governments, go after people with their bullshit things, they get tested in by the high up. They could go all the way up to the highest law of the land, the federal law, you know, and be under federal jurisdiction and the Supreme Court even. And 9 times out of 10 they lose. Like, oh, the gay fucking baker bullshit, you stupid fuck. Holy shit. That's why he's saying it, because you idiots, they overreach and they write unconstitutional laws, which usually favor the bullshit that you idiots want on the left. I mean, this is ridiculous. This idiot has no fucking clue. Coxx, buddy. Looks like you've choked on so much dick there, you know. Well, actually, let's go with your name. Coxx has choked on so much cock, the lack of oxygen to his brain has caused permanent brain damage. And in a 2004 article, he contended that defendants as young as 16 or 17 should be subject to the death penalty, saying that such a policy did not violate the 8th Amendment's prohibition of cruel and unusual punishment. Because it fucking doesn't. I don't care what your feelings are. It does not violate cruel and unusual punishment. Okay? The death penalty does not violate that. If they go and they fucking murder someone, they go and do that. Life for a life. You're not going to rehabilitate a 16 or 17-year-old to where they're going to go and be an upstanding, positive member of society. If they've killed someone at that age, odds are they're just beginning down a path. Well, it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. Also, up for a lifetime seat on the 6th Circuit is Eric Murphy. Oh, really? E from Entourage is up for a 6th Circuit seat? I didn't know being Vinny Chase's freaking manager qualified you to be a judge. Sorry for the bad humor here, people, but I just saw that and it popped in my head. Didn't the first time I read it through, though. Actually, the first 2 times. That's funny. So, yeah. Also up for a lifetime seat on the Sixth Circuit is Eric Murphy, currently Ohio's Solicitor General. Like Riedler, Murphy has been an ardent opponent of many key civil rights protections. I love this, civil rights protections. Let's see what you consider this. I know what it is, and I'm sure where I'm talking here, if you haven't read ahead, if you have read ahead, you probably do. Let's see what they consider a civil fucking right. He defended Ohio's attempts to defund Planned Parenthood, claiming there was no evidence that doing so will reduce abortion access in the state. So, to this fucking nitwit Cox, having an abortion is a civil fucking right. Like, as in, like, a right that the Constitution clearly guarantees. Hey, Cox, buddy, Coxie, old pal, show me where in the fucking Constitution it says abortion is fucking legal. Please, please show me. I'd love to see this. I've read it. Have you? And it wouldn't reduce abortion access. See, the thing is why should my taxpayer dollars, when half the country's against abortion, which it's split basically 50-50, when half the country's against it, why should the half that is against it pay for the abortions of the other half that isn't and wants them? Why should I be compelled to pay for that? No one should. If they want an abortion, then they should fucking have to go and pay for the fucking shit. Because you play, you pay. Okay? You want to talk about women's choice. All right? Women had a choice. The first choice the woman had, not to sleep with the fucking guy. Okay? Second choice she had, pick a better fucking guy to sleep with. Third choice she could have had, I don't know, have birth control and like be on birth control yourself. Okay, next choice, if you're not with the last choice, if you haven't made it, go and make sure the guy wears a fucking condom. Okay, you had all those fucking choices before getting knocked up, and now, because you don't want to take responsibility for your fucking actions, and you want other people to pay for that fact, you want a fucking abortion. That's not how life fucking works. Sorry to break it to you. That is not how life fucking works. This is such fucking bullshit. Planned Parenthood is not a civil right. Getting an abortion is not a civil right. Pay for your own damn abortion. That was the whole fucking point of women's lib, of the 70s feminism. With the abortion thing. They wanted to be able to go out and pay for their own. Now they want everyone to pay for theirs. Fuck them. Not happening. Ironically, the Sixth Circuit, the court Riedler hopes to join, ruled against Ohio in this matter. Yes, because, why don't we be honest, wasn't it an Obama appointee? Oh, that's right, it wasn't. If it went up to the next court, it would have probably been overturned. Holy fucking shit. I love how you leave out convenient truths like that, you shitbag. Murphy filed a Supreme Court brief defending Ohio's ban on same-sex marriage in Obergefell and Hodges. And I believe he would probably say he's got no problems with civil union. Marriage is a religious thing. It's not a civil thing. The second the government gets in and says marriage, okay, and starts controlling marriage, then you now have the violation of church and state, which is what we've seen because they're trying to force churches to marry gay men, to marry lesbian women, when there is a clear separation of church and state. If they want to get married in front of a judge, or like have a civil union, I got no problems with that. Because the civil union, they get all the same fucking perks. They get the health care from each other. They get all the same fucking shit. Death benefits. They get all the same standing under the law. So why the hell can't you just let a religious thing stay religious? And I'm not even really, I was born a Catholic. I'm a lapsed Catholic. I believe that people have the right to their religion. And marriage, I see it from the idea of it's a religious thing. That's probably where he was coming from. But I don't care if people want to go well, you know, marry someone of the same sex, well, we'll say have a civil union. Okay, but marriage gets thrown around on that all around, so I'll just use marry, even though it's not the correct term. But if they want to go and do that, that's their fucking prerogative. But you can't force a church or whatever else to have to accept that. I mean, you can make society through federal ruling, because I didn't agree with the ruling on it, because the 10th Amendment, it violated states' rights. But they should have the same right to do everything else, but why call it marriage? If it's the same thing, but marriage is religious and you don't want to force upon a religion a certain thing, you can't call it marriage. Most recently, he successfully argued in the Supreme Court that Ohio should be allowed to purge infrequent voters from its election rolls, which could disenfranchise people of color, veterans, low-income, and disabled citizens. Bullshit! Bullshit, 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 bullshit. I call bullshit. 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 You want to know why? Because when you have infrequent voters, if they haven't, what he's calling infrequent voters are people that haven't voted for 2, 3, 4, well, it's usually 4 or more years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 years. They have a cutoff, like New Hampshire. I don't know if they still have it, but at one time they had a cutoff and you'd have to go and re-register if you didn't vote. It's called record keeping. The reason why they want these infrequent voters still on, because this quote-unquote infrequent voters, they go through and they look and they go, okay, this person's dead, this person's dead, this person doesn't have a state residency. And they remove these people from the voter rolls, which stops the Democrats from being able to actually send people in and poses them and vote as those people. And they know this, which is why they try to hold up the people of color, veterans, low income, and disabled citizens bullshit. Which the funny thing is if you go and ask veterans, I bet you 9 out of 10 of them would fucking agree with what I'm saying about the fact of that this is not a problem, that the Democrats are going to use this, that it causes an issue of voting. And you want to know why? Because they fought for those rights, and they understand how easily they can be corrupted through third parties or political parties or whatever else. And the Democrats have a long-standing fucking history of this shit. Hell, Kennedy had dead people voting for him in freaking Chicago. That's a documented fact. Oh, there's never been voter tampering. There's never been dead people voting. There's never been voter fraud or election fraud. Bull fucking shit. The Democrats have been doing it for fucking decades upon decades upon decades. And instead of the Republicans standing up to them and having some fucking balls and calling their fucking shit out, when the Democrats go, oh, no, it's not happening, they just sit there and go, okay, it isn't. And they defend them on that one instead of going bullshit. And when someone that's right of them does, they go, they're just conspiracy theorists, fearmongers. Murphy and Riedler hail from Ohio. Traditionally, judicial nominees have needed to the sign-off of both their state senators before receiving a hearing, but that norm, like so many others, has been disregarded under Republican leadership. Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously. That's a tradition. It's not a requirement. You seriously want to try to use a tradition as something that they should be held to because, oh, well, they did it in the past. When you people on the left have been the worst fucking infantile, immature, spoiled brat, bitch fucking children that you could ever have been up to this point, go fuck yourself. What the hell should they have say? It's a federal position. He has a right to fucking appoint who he wants. Okay, this tradition came out of bullshit. It's not that old, okay? He has the right to nominate whoever the fuck he wants. And all you people can just fucking whine and cry about it, suck on your thumbs, find trauma animals to pet, and just deal with it. Wednesday's hearing are scheduled to go forward, even though Senator Sherrod Brown, Democrat of Ohio, has refused to approve either nominee. Well, yes, because they're not fucking leftist freaking legislate from the bench shitbags. It is also customary for the Senate to delay hearings until the nonpartisan American Bar Association issues its rating of a nominee's fitness to serve on the bench. Ha 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 ha! The fucking Bar Association. Seriously. A bunch of fucking crooked lawyers. Who use the Bar Association to cover up their shit more often than not. It's supposed to be a group where they police themselves. And more often than not, they cover up their fucking improprieties. It's fucking hilarious. So here they are going, oh, well, the Bar Association. Excuse me. Gonna trust fucking lawyers. You know, that makes me think of a really old bad joke. What's 1,000 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean? A good start. You know there's a reason for that fucking joke? And you want the Bar Association to have to say on a judge? No, the president. He's the fucking ultimate power. You don't like the fact that Trump has that power. Deal with it. But the American Bar Association, all right, until the nonpartisan American Bar Association issues its ratings of a nominee's fitness to serve on the bench. Who are they to decide who they're fit to serve? I just don't get this. They're literally, this asshole Cox is pulling out all this shit to try to say what Trump is doing is wrong. Sorry, it isn't. But the Judiciary Committee ignored the practice in the case of Jonathan Kobes, Trump's nominee for the 8th Circuit of Appeals. 3 weeks ago, citing Kobes' lack of experience, the ABA deemed him unqualified, making Kobes the 6th of Trump's nominees to receive the group's lowest rating. Excuse me. But the bar is going to nominate. The bar? They're fluffing each other. It's a bunch of lawyers who are, in this situation, who are going to fluff each other. It's a popularity fucking contest. And I love this. You're saying that, oh, you got issues with how these people actually vote. But when the American Bar Association says the guy lacks experience, which how the hell is he going to get any? But because he supposedly lacks experience, that's why he should be disqualified. Because the other ones you don't like what they voted for. That's why they should be disqualified. He gets to put whoever the fuck he wants in that position. Or get him, put him up for nomination. If you don't like it, fuck off. You're not in power these days. Deal with it. Kobes' thin resume isn't the only cause for concern. As a private attorney, he represented a group of fake women's health centers in South Dakota in their fight to uphold a state law requiring doctors to read an anti-abortion script to women seeking to end their pregnancies. Now, this is what's bullshit. This is complete fucking misrepresentation. This is one step away from flat-out fucking lying about the situation. You had all right, because this is the fuckwit source, prochoiceamerica.org, the abortion fucking, baby killer fucking central site. Yeah, that's the fucking source. See, you had these pregnancy crisis centers. Now, they don't do abortions. They don't misrepresent that they do abortions. They give women other options besides abortions. Like adoption, keeping the child. They run them through their options. They're not like Planned Parenthood, a baby parts factory trying to churn out as many units as they possibly fucking can. Because they sell that shit for a profit. And then go, well, it's non-profit. You set arbitrarily high prices. Okay, the human body is a few dollars in materials, yet you get fucking $10,000 or $20,000 for a fetus. It's like, and it's not even a full fetus. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That's profiteering. And the thing is they're not fake women's health centers. They're crisis pregnancy centers that just don't do abortions. And this supposed anti-abortion script to women seeking to end their pregnancy gives them fucking options. So heaven fucking forbid they get read a thing that lists their options and allows for them to take a step back for a second and make a fucking choice. Holy shit. This just goes to show how demented this idiot is. And the type of bullshit that they believe, the type of bullshit the left and him believe are fucking civil rights that are not civil rights. Asked by a Dutch journalist about the propriety of President Trump's attacks on federal judges, Cobbs equivocated, calling them nuanced. Calling out the Ninth fucking Circus. The fucking joke of the U.S. federal court system. You're trying to use those fuckwits getting called out by him? Those political activists legislate from the bench judges getting called out. You're trying to actually fucking use that as a thing. Oh my God. And yeah, they were nuanced. He also made... So wait a minute, because he didn't condemn Trump, you don't like him. Oh, well, fucking wah. He also made questionable statements about immigration, expressing concerns about his state's growing diversity and lamenting... I love how you're taking this out of context, and lamenting the fading of Judeo-Christian ethical standards. So let me translate what this pretty much probably is. He's talking about the influx of illegals, okay? How he has a problem with that, which they're calling it diversity. And he has a problem with the fact of the ethical standard, the Judeo-Christian ethical standards, meaning what drove our society, those things that are the basis for Western law, like thou shalt not murder, which it's not thou shalt not kill, it's thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, so on and so forth. The basis for our legal code, our legal system. He's saying that he doesn't like to see the fading of that because it's weakening our legal system and it's allowing for this depravity that, like, people like you believe is normal. Despite these red flags, what red flags? The Judiciary Committee was prepared to vote on his candidacy on September 20th. The vote was postponed because of allegations against Kavanaugh, because of the bullshit allegations the Democrats completely trumped up. No pun intended. And here we are, you're trying to make it sound like this guy's a bad person. I mean, seriously, they're so desperate that not buying into leftist fucking bullshit makes you unfit to be a judge now. This is what this asshole's seriously saying. Nominees like Redler, Murphy, and Cobbs have received far less attention than Kavanaugh, but they are just as committed to rolling back the hard-won progress over the last 60 years. How so? See, this is what this idiot... It's all fear-mongering. Kavanaugh was literally a drop-in replacement for Kennedy. Okay? He is like Kennedy 2.0. Voted pretty much the same as he has on similar things. So how is he going to roll back anything? And what you're talking about, they're not going to roll back the last 60 years. They're stopping you from changing the next 60 years and fucking things up even more. Let's be honest. And you know this, and that's why you're trying to play it like this. You're trying to fearmonger to people. Because you know that they're not going to fucking legislate from the bench. They're not going to push leftist bullshit. They're not going to tote the fucking Democrat leftist fucking identity politics, cultural Marxist line. And you're pissed about it. Well, deal. The showdown over the Kavanaugh nomination was a deeply important fight. Really? It was? Well, good thing you lost. I mean, this is ridiculous. The showdown. Yeah, which is why the Democrats literally tried to destroy a man's life using lies and bullshit, using lies and complete bullshit innuendos. Shit like that. But for Americans who care about the integrity of our courts, the fairness of our laws, and the equal rights of all, it cannot be the only one. Yeah, which is why, you stupid fuck, Trump is putting the people in that he is putting in. Because of people like you who want to change the makeup of the courts, make them into activist courts that legislate from the bench, okay, and destroy the civil rights of everyone except for those little privileged fucking groups that you think are fucking special. Which I'm guessing you're not going to be part of that little privileged group thing unless you throw on a fucking moo-moo and call yourself a chick. I mean, this is ridiculous shit. They seriously are so desperate that because someone doesn't, because a potential, nominee, I should say, not a potential judge, potential federal judge is a Christian. You're literally trying to use that to disqualify them. Because they see a fading of Judeo-Christian ethical standards, the basis of our legal fucking system. He might not even be a religious person. He just might be someone who has more of a fucking clue than you, who's maybe studied history and understands that our legal code and our legal system in the West was built off the Bible's religious law. Oh my God. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.